Okay, you are struggling. You're struggling. And we're going to talk about something really important. How to stop making excuses and take responsibility. It's a game changer. Do you realize that every time you make an excuse and not take responsibility, you lose power? Every time you lose power. And what power am I talking about? I'm talking about the power to literally create a lifestyle. Why would people who use excuses be given a type of power to build and create a particular lifestyle? You just don't have that. People who use excuses actually weaken themselves every time they use an excuse. I mean, really, we could look at a scale right here. And let's say you use an excuse for something that didn't get done. And now what happened is you have taken yourself from this point and you now have dropped yourself down to this point. You're dropping. And then when you try to do better and you don't have the power to literally follow through with what you said, and you're wondering why you're not strong enough, and now you got to go use another excuse? Well, the excuses have to stop before the personal power can actually increase. Even when you do something wrong and you take responsibility for it, you come out ahead. And that's what you don't understand, is that when you take responsibility, even when you've done something wrong, you come out of that actually gaining personal power because you called yourself out and were accountable. And you know, when people are accountable about something they did wrong, they actually think that they're dropping down because they feel this sinking feeling. But actually, accountability builds integrity. Accountability builds integrity. Excuses create weakness. And I have watched people use excuse after excuse after excuse, and they literally weaken themselves down to the point that no matter what they try to build, no matter what they try to plan, their plans won't hold together because they don't have the integrity. They don't have the integrity inside of them to actually follow through and hold together their commitments, their ideas, their plans, their schedule, and they just lose control of their life. And then they wonder why they can't make the money they wish they could make, or why they're having difficulty in their relationships, because they lost the integrity inside of them, because every time you say an excuse, you drop down in power. An excuse is an avoidance of the truth. An excuse is an avoidance of the truth. And an excuse can be seen as a lie. An excuse can be seen as a lie. Now, who goes around saying, oh, your excuses are actually lies? No, an excuse is a flowery way to lie. You just come up with this well-crafted reason why something didn't happen, instead of just owning it. And just owning the moment and going, guess what? I didn't do it. Guess what? I did it wrong. Guess what? Now, if people really understand personal power and the power to live a life and your plans work and your ideas come together and your schedule holds, if they understood that, they would hold themselves accountable in every situation, even when they're making mistakes. I would rather have integrity, and then, have integrity because I'm talking about, yep, I didn't do it right. Yep, I made a mistake. Yes, I cost the company thousands of dollars. But that integrity is what will carry out in front of me and build the life I want to build, even when I'm making mistakes. I know it just sounds crazy that you literally can have the power to build an awesome life while you're making mistakes, but it means you're being accountable and responsible. Now, those who don't understand this personal power of integrity, they think that excuses are allowed and that they're common and it's okay to say all of them. But when you start to lose this personal power, and when you start to really search your soul to figure out, why can't I fulfill my commitments? Why can't I show up? Why can't I do these things? And you really start looking at it, and you realize your integrity's down, and your weaknesses are way down there, then you might want to change. But starting today, instead of coming up and creating some excuse, you get to actually own what exactly happened. Now, here's something to pay attention to. Here's something to pay attention to. You are the one who chooses and designs how your mind functions. And when something goes wrong, where does your mind go? Does it go to crafting an excuse? Or does it go to explaining the actual facts? Which way does your mind go? Does it drop down in trying to figure out, oh, well, I could say this, I could say this, I could say this to let me off the hook? And if your mind is now naturally trained to go that way, you got yourself a lot of work to build the confidence to literally start telling the truth of what's been going on. It's going to take you some work, because you can actually literally shape and form your mind to be really good at excuses, that you're so believable in what you're saying, where people just believe your excuses and they let you get away with your excuses because you're so convincing. But here's the problem. If you get really good at convincing other people about your excuses, guess what happens to you? You don't even know what the truth is anymore. You start to even lose the ability of seeing truth. Because you have started to live a life of excuses and to tell partial truths and say things that get you off the hook, you actually start to believe these things. And you're going to struggle. And don't worry, it's going to catch up to you. It will catch up to you. A person with low integrity can't last very long in a world that demands integrity. Why do we have people, so many people, really struggling? Now, am I saying that these people are low on integrity? What I'm saying is people use too many excuses and they get away with it. And they let their kids use excuses, they let their spouse use excuses, and what we need people who actually say, I didn't do it. I was late. It's not because of traffic, it's not because of my alarm clock. I misplanned. That's the fact. I forgot to do that. That's the fact. Not my dog ate my homework, or if it wasn't for my spouse or my kids or the weather or the government. I mean, people today are getting really creative in their excuses, but then they look at their life and they're struggling. Why are they struggling? Excuses drive you down here and you start living a subtraction life. Like you try to do things and things just don't work. What I want to live is this kind of life. People of high integrity, they have things work for them. But people call that being lucky. It's okay. They don't understand it yet, and maybe they'll never understand it. But boy, have I paid my lessons. I have paid my prices from the lessons I've learned of using excuses. I used to be really good at saying excuses, and I could convince anyone that my excuse was real. And I actually convinced myself that my excuses were real. So much that I lost integrity with myself, and I could not pick something I wanted to do and actually pull it off. I couldn't make things work. And then I just keep telling excuses. And I was just spiraling down in a big mess. And then I saw somebody else who was really good at excuses. And I saw how ugly it was. I saw their struggles. I saw this person and I'm watching them going, what is up with this person? Why am I so intrigued with this? And then the day happened. The day happened that I went, oh no, I'm doing what they're doing. oh no, you've got to be kidding. No, I'm not that person. Oh man. And I saw it and I was like, oh crap, I have to fix this. I have to fix this before this goes bad, before I get caught. How messed up I am. And I started telling things straight on. If I'm late, I say I'm late. If I didn't do it, I say I didn't do it. And I had to like not add an extra story to that. You just say what is. And I had to start building my integrity because I saw how ugly it was. You're going to get caught. You are so going to get caught in your excuses. And you need to change before it makes a mess. Before it makes a mess. Because you had no idea that excuses rip you off. You think you're getting away with it, but you're cheating yourself. And you're just avoiding telling the truth. You're avoiding being accountable. You're avoiding being responsible. And you're cheating. And cheaters lose. And I caught myself cheating and telling excuses. But I changed. I changed. And I tell you what, it's on my mind all the time. I'm just like, okay, how am I going to explain this? Don't make this flowery. Don't make this an excuse. Just own it, Kirk. Own it, own it, own it, own it. Just own it. And when I catch myself saying an excuse, oh crap, right there in the moment, I better fix it. If you catch yourself using an excuse to try to get off and try to get away from this and have less of a comeback at you, you get to fix it right in the moment and just go, okay, I need to own this. Yesterday, I caught myself. I had this weird thing happen. It was intense. There was this moment. Somebody asked me a question and I rattled off this response. And then half an hour later, I went, wait a second. I felt a shift down. Why do I feel a shift down? What happened? I started reviewing. I'm like, what? Oh, crap. I totally gave an excuse. So I go back to the person and I go, hey, I need to explain myself. And I totally just laid it out there, how I manufactured this excuse. And they bought the excuse. And I could have got away with it, but I felt my personal power shift down. I can't afford that. I love my life. And I caught myself. I was like, oh, you're kidding. And so I owned up, told them, explained it to them. I asked for forgiveness. They told me they forgive me. And in the moment of clearing it up, I felt, boom, it comes back. Oh, good. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm good. See, when you're wondering why you're losing in life, you maybe need to stop telling so many excuses. Take responsibility. Build your personal power through integrity and watch what it does for you. All right, you're on the road to progress, my friend. Taking responsibility is going to build that integrity. You are going to do good. You know, though, we got a little bit more cleanup. If you got into the excuse world, you need some help inside your head to really find the truth of things. So click the link here below and I've got something for you that's going to help you manage your thoughts. It's called Master My Thoughts. That's the name of the program, Master My Thoughts. If you've been in the excuse world, you kind of got too much stuff going on inside your head that's allowing this to happen. So let's clean up your thoughts, get you organized so you can do some good work. Hey, and before you go, click subscribe because I got another great training video coming straight to you.